Well, here we are. It has been a day and a half since I got home. Got home, well, I guess longer than that. I got home late Saturday. It is Monday today. Luckily for us being Canada, it's a long weekend, so we're able to get an extra day of relaxation before we head back to work. I just wanted to kind of give my final thoughts while they're still fresh in my head about the trip that we just did. Was 6,500 kilometers. That's like 3,800 miles, I think. Um, the bike did the bike did really well. No mechanical breakdowns, no hiccups, um, no issues. Didn't need any of the spare parts I brought, which is, or not spare parts, but tools, tire plugs, everything like that. Love it. I think I am glad I had the Corbin seat. Was on stock shocks, unfortunately. I did buy some aftermarket shocks, but they didn't get here in time. But that's a separate video. They're over there waiting for me. And yeah, so my biggest complaints, I think I've got two of them. We could argue about the shocks, but whatever. The main thing that you can't really change, I don't think, is the tank capacity. So I'm sitting at 3.3 gallons. It's like 12 and a half liters. And now that we were doing, I probably could have got more. We were filling up on an average of 100 miles. And I found that a lot of the towns, especially in like the 101 in California, or the number one, or the 139, the 395, the 59, whatever we took, it was the towns seemed to be situated like every 60 to 80 miles apart. So I could definitely make it town to town, 80, 100 miles, but I couldn't make it to the next town. You know what I mean? That would be 160 miles, 170 miles, and I might have been able to do it, but we were with Kevin's Sportster. He definitely couldn't do it. His gas would come on at about 115 miles, and mine would. I'd seem that every time I'd fill up, I'd have like 2.2 gallons, 2 gallons fill. Which means I had a gallon left, so I probably could have gone further, but I wouldn't have made it to the next town without using my reserve fuel, and so that was a bit of a bummer having to fill up that much. We were with a bunch of baggers. They were able to go 300, 400, 500 kilometers, maybe more, 600, I would assume, but we just couldn't. We just couldn't. So fuel capacity was a bit of an issue. You get going, you're happy, you're excited, you're riding. Oh, gotta stop for fuel. It kind of messed with the flow a little bit. And the other thing was a lack of cruise control. Now, I did get sent a throttle lock. Unfortunately, it got held up at Canadian Customs, so I wasn't able to install it in time. And that's just shit luck. So we'll have to do another trip to kind of test that one out. And the heat, whatever, it was what it was. We hit 117. It actually started to melt my helmet a bit. I don't know if you can see it. It's still dirty. I haven't cleaned anything, but like the glue is starting to separate. This is all separating. This is all separating. It's all pulling away. Like here, it's starting to pull away. I've pressed this in. There it is, multiple times. So I might have to glue that back in. I'll heat it with the heat gun, press it in, re-glue it. But literally just the heat, it would just start to melt. How it would melt, which is crazy. But anyways, the goal for today is to just kind of get rid of all the saddlebags, get rid of the tank bag, get rid of the sissy bar bag, get rid of the sissy bar mount, bring the bike back to the way it was, the way I love it, with just a simple Brave seat and the Indian saddlebag on the side. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna strip this thing down, we're gonna wash it and just bring it back to zero. And once I have that, then I can take care of this garage. The garage is an absolute mess. So that's the goal for today. Still on a bit of a high. Like it just kind of seems surreal. They've just done 6,500 kilometers. Seems like we're still in California. So again, thank you so much to my brothers and sisters in Indian motorcycle world. Bearded Bobber, Bombshell Biker, thank you so much for putting us up. That was amazing. Meatball Rebel, thank you very much for being our tour guide for most of the trip. Thank you to my Canadian buddies, Inside Line Competition, Dan, or Chris, and Dan, Kevin, High Desert Bobber, it was great meeting you. Okie Addiction, buddy, I'm glad you made it home. So glad we got to meet you. Um, Brandon, Mr. Picasso, was an absolute pleasure. Um, and who am I missing here? Shit. I had to write it down because apparently I'm a terrible person and I can't remember. Someone to dream about. Chris, buddy, we made it across the desert. You bought us lunch. You were extremely giving guy. So glad to have met you. I know we all are super happy. Thank you very much. Chuckster, buddy, good meeting you. Full Pin Moto, Psych Nurse Chris, the only guy that can make a chieftain look small. Warbeard, buddy, good meeting you too. And then I can't forget Atomic Plus Chris. Atomic Plus FF. Wow, you have a crazy name to say. Atomic Plus SF. Cliff, amazing. And Bobber's Beards and Brews. Thank you for putting us up. Kevin and I, we really appreciate us taking out for dinner. All you guys has made this trip so good. I know I'm missing more of you, but just know that I'm happy and thankful to each and every one of you that came out and met us, put us up, went for rides. What can I say? This is the stuff that memories are made of. Can't wait to do it again. So let's get the bike ready so we can do it again. Anyways, let's get this shit torn down. Before we get on the bike, I have some new stickers to add to the board here. Got Okie Addiction, Canadian Motorcycle World stickers. Indian Motorcycle Redlands, thanks for hosting a bit of the Big Bear ride before SCMM. Meatball. My first time in and out. Aussie and the Indian. Open Roader. Got Psych Nurse Chris and just some SCMM swag. And Big Sur. If you guys ever get a chance to do the #1 highway along California and hit Big Sur, I highly recommend it. What an amazing ride. And then I got some leftover stickers of my own, so we'll throw those up and get on the bike. There we go. Everybody's on the wall. Alright, let's blast this shit off. There's one. There's two. Alright, and now for the rack. Almost there. Gonna go ahead and reinstall the Indian saddlebag because I like it better. Whoa, you fell and now you're looking at me. This is awkward, isn't it? I'm just gonna let it happen. I can only imagine what this looks like. Actually, it's kind of awkward. We'll stop it now. Saddlebag is back on. And before we bolt this guy back up, we're gonna go ahead and reinstall our side mount license plate because this tailpiece is just very unbecoming. So we'll go ahead and blast this guy off. There we go, off. Got the American license plate bracket again. So we'll go ahead and mount that guy up. Same bolts. Make our electrical connection. There you go, done. If you guys will have an international tailpiece like the one I took off and you want to see how this one goes on, check out my video as to how to put it on. It's a good one. I'll throw the link up. And just like that, we are back in business. All right, bike is outside. Everything's back on. That back end looks so much better now. Didn't like those side bags. Served the purpose. These Joker machine lights really clean it up. Don't have that big bug eye of the factory lights. Got a video on those coming out. Don't worry about it. But yeah, time to rinse this bitch down and get her cleaned up. Won't bore with the details on this one. I've got a bike cleaning video. Check it out as well. Let's fast forward and get this thing done.